This video is going to discuss both the fourth and fifth slide presentations on Descartes' first meditation. And we're starting here with the fourth slide presentation. And previously, Descartes had raised several reasons for doubt. And one reason for doubt is that your senses sometimes deceive you. Another one is that you might be dreaming. And finally, he mentions the idea of God. Maybe there is a God who's deceiving you about even mathematical knowledge. And here, what Descartes is going to do is talk about nature as the possible cause of our existence. And what Descartes is saying is that maybe there is no God. We don't know if there's a God or not at this point in the meditations. Descartes hasn't argued that there is a God. So maybe there is no God, and maybe we're simply products of nature. And maybe if we're products of nature, we're not being deceived. And so we can do what? We can rely upon our senses, for instance. And what Descartes wants to point out here is that even if we are products of nature, nature is not omnipotent. And it's very unlikely that nature will have created us or produced us such that we are perfect and we can always rely upon our senses and other means of discovering the truth about reality. In other words, Descartes is saying if nature has produced us, then we're probably quite imperfect and we have no reason to rely on our senses and other ways of discovering truth about reality. And we can understand this more or better if we think about evolutionary theory. If we're the product of nature, and it's because of evolution over time, nature was not trying to make perfect organisms. All nature was doing was selecting traits that help an organism survive and reproduce. And there's simply no guarantee, no reason to believe that those traits allow an organism to correctly perceive reality. Just think of all the different visual systems in the animal kingdom. Think of all the different color visual systems. There's no reason to think that our visual system is correctly perceiving reality, or that of an eagle is correctly perceiving reality, or some other organism. They're just different visual systems that now allow that organism to survive and reproduce. That's all. That's what they do. So they don't necessarily give that organism a way to find out the truth about reality. And now we have a reason to doubt, right? We have a reason to doubt our perception of reality if we are simply products of nature. Another way to think about this is nature is not trying, right, to make an organism that perceives the truth about reality. Nature doesn't care about truth. It's all about survival and reproduction. And now let's move to the fifth slide presentation on the first meditation, a malicious demon. And here what Descartes is doing is he's presenting, in some ways, the most powerful reason for doubt. What if, instead of a good omnipotent being, there's an evil omnipotent being, a malicious or evil demon? What is this evil demon trying to do? The evil demon is trying to deceive you. Well, if there's an evil demon, if that's possible, and it seems possible that there's an evil demon trying to deceive you, what should you believe? Nothing. It seems that you now have a reason to doubt all of your previous beliefs. Where does that leave us? Let's read. I shall consider myself as having no hands or eyes, or flesh or blood or senses, but as having falsely believed that I had all these things. I shall stubbornly persist in this train of thought, and even if I can't learn any truth, I shall at least do what I can do, which is to be on my guard against accepting any falsehoods, so the deceiver, however powerful and cunning he may be, will be unable to affect me in the slightest. What is Descartes saying here? He's saying you might not even have a body. That's possible. Maybe you're just dreaming your body and all the other bodies. So you don't have a body. So you can't believe those things. And an evil demon could be deceiving you that you have a body, so you should stop believing that you have a body. An evil demon could be deceiving you about anything. Now, why can't the evil demon make you believe you have a body? Where does this power come to suspend judgment and not accept falsehoods? What gives you this power? Descartes saying you have it. Even against an omnipotent evil demon, you can still suspend judgment. You don't have to believe things that are false. You can simply not believe. Where does this power come from? It comes from a free will, it seems. You're free to believe or not to believe. It's up to you. Nothing can force you to believe. Now, this raises a problem for Descartes' epistemology, right? His theory of knowledge. He thinks that knowledge is foundational. You need a foundation. So you've got to find these foundational truths. And that's what he's looking for. But now we've got this idea popping up that we have free will. Where does this idea come from? How does he know that we have free will? And this is the real problem with foundationalism. How do we figure out which beliefs, which statements are the foundational ones?